On this Wednesday afternoon. So excited to have you guys here with me. What I want to do today is go through, see how the market is reacting to the Ethereum London Hard Fork, which is happening at around 10:30. We'll take a look at a website that you can watch to track that. Let's see how Bitcoin is reacting to that, how Ethereum is, and I also want to take a look at the Ethereum competitors to see how they're reacting as well. So welcome if it is your first time here, massive welcome. Don't forget to, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure you change that bell notification to all so that you can get notified every time I go live. I'm streaming 3 times a week. And I also do daily 60-second Bitcoin updates on this channel as well. As you're coming in, make sure you give me a comment. Let me know that you are here. Say hello. And yeah, just let me know that you can hear me okay and that we are all good to go. What other news do I have for you whilst I'm waiting for you guys to come in? Also, if you are joining me from YouTube, I've put up a poll in the chat section there for you guys to vote on. Let me know if you are bullish or bearish at the moment on BTC. Currently, let me just take a look at how that poll is going. We have 67% of you are bearish on Bitcoin. That is really interesting. So we will take a look at the charts and get into that in a moment. What else do I have for you? Yes, just one thing I wanted to let you guys know. I have just hit the 2,500 subscribers on YouTube, which I'm so excited about. So thank you guys for all of your support there. It means the world to me when you do subscribe, when you do like, and especially when you comment. I definitely read every comment and I reply to every single one. So yeah, just keep them coming because I love to hear from you guys. Now, let's get into the charts. We'll have a look at Bitcoin first. And a couple of things. So this morning, let's have a look at the daily there. This morning, we can see it a little bit better on the 4-hour, but I'll start with the daily. It was looking like we may have had the potential bounce, but we didn't get it. We're still heading further down, but that's okay. I'll show you that in a second. Couple of things. We haven't quite made it into my buy zone yet. That's fine. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of bearish candles. Also, not a worry for me. Like we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10 days of bullish candles. So this pullback is needed. Currently, the pullback is sitting on the 38 fibs. So if this does become the local bottom, Bitcoin will still be extremely bearish. So the other things to note on this is we can see here the MACD. Those lines there look like they want to cross down. Now that doesn't mean that they will, but looks like they want to cross down, which will lead to a further retracement. And the histogram here is lightening up and also shortening. So that does mean that the selling momentum is a little bit stronger at the moment. We can see that in the candles though. Anyway, you don't really need the MACD to tell us that. The RSI was looking like it wanted to turn up this morning. However, it's currently straightened out and is still heading back towards the 50 line. So as long as that RSI stays above the 50 line on the RSI, it would still be considered bullish. So we're getting close. I like it to get really quite nice and close. I just don't like it to cross below. So currently there's nothing to worry about. This just looks like a healthy retracement. Definitely not calling bull market back as much as I would love for it to be. There is still definitely work to do before we can, definitely feel that way. EMAs, we currently have, price has now closed back down, we closed yesterday down below the 10 EMA and the 200. So that's not great, but the thing is we have not yet closed below the 20 EMA. So price can retest a 20 EMA and still be bullish. But what we don't want to see is a full candle close below it. So we need to keep an eye on that now. And yeah, we're getting close. So this is good. This is the time when a lot of people tend to freak out and think we're going to be bearish and they don't put in their buy orders. So, but on the way up here, all you're hanging for is price to come back down, right? So at some point you got to pull the trigger and put in a buy order. For me personally, I would like to see price retest this previous level here of resistance. So if we head further down, that is around 35,900, which will also perfectly line up with the 50 fibs, which is a bullish continuation. Now, yeah, so it's like if we come into this buy zone, I want to see us stay above that price to, feel like this is enough of a retracement. Okay, off we go. Let's go. Bulls are back. But we need to wait and see when we get there. We may fall short of it. We may come down to the 61. Even if we come down to this 61 or 70 level, it's still going to put in a higher low. So it's still going to be bullish. It might just not be parabolically bullish. So that's okay. There's nothing wrong with slow growth. In fact, it makes your trading a little bit more chilled out, I guess. Now, what else do I have to say on the daily? So not much else. Haven't hit my buy zone, but we are looking like we're heading down. Now, let me show you what I was seeing on the 4 hour this morning when I did my 60-second update. I think it would have been around, let's say fourth. So yeah, it was around these candles here. I think we were maybe in the middle of one of these. Didn't look like that when the candle was open. Excuse me. It was looking like it was at that point in time creating a little bit of a curve like this. So this candle here hadn't actually happened yet. So it was looking like that this may have been the potential bottom, and it was kind of lining up here. So I was watching for that, and what I said on that update was that if I get a bullish engulfing here, I'm going to erase this lower order and put in a buy there, just a market buy. We didn't get the bullish engulfing, so didn't do that. So here we are. I'm still waiting. So I think there's pretty good chance that price is going to first come down and test this level here, because that's where we bounced before. That's at 36,800, and then again might come back down to the 50. The MACD is looking like the selling pressure is easing off, right? So have a look at that, how we're lightening in color and shortening in length. That shows you that pressure is easing off. So we may get that crossed at some point and find the bottom soon. I do think the bottom is coming in fairly soon. Would like us to head into the oversold on the 4 hour. That'll give me even more, especially if we can head into the oversold and then create another peak and create a bullish divergence. That's going to be fantastic, but that's going to take a couple of days for that to happen. So yeah, we are really slowly bleeding out. It's nothing too dramatic, but this is looking all like a healthy pullback so far. So I'm really quite happy with Bitcoin. And what else do I want to look at with Bitcoin? Actually, you know what? Let's talk about the downside. What happens if we get into this zone and we keep going? We break that 35,900. So to me, that's the key area, okay? I really want price to hold above here to believe that we will have bullish continuation. If it doesn't, then I'm going to wait for a retest. I will turn bearish again if price heads down and breaks below that 35,900. We get a retest. That will be where I'll be potentially opening a short to take it back down to the 29,700 where we got to before. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do want to have a plan in place for that. Welcome, Rachel. Nice to see you here. And yeah, so that's it. Let's prepare for both sides just in case. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance is, we've broken this line here now, and looks like, I mean, there's not a lot of momentum in it, but we are heading down even further. With the London Hard Fork and whatnot, that's expected. It's expected for the dominance to head down because all eyes are on Ethereum right now. So not too worried about this. Let's just wait for the hype to sort of, do its thing, and then see how that is in a couple of days. Let's look at Ethereum dominance. And yeah, we've got that breakout. We currently look like we're getting that retest. So as long as we hold above here, we might shoot off further, and then that will be extremely bullish, I would think, for Ethereum. The total market cap, so this includes Bitcoin. And we got back up to this area, which I wanted to get up, which was the 1.69 trillion, and we sold off a little, so we're coming back down to the 1.5. That's okay. That's not too much of a worry. It's, money's come into the market. I guess a little bit of money's exited the market, but I guess that's expected when, the entire market turns red. So I don't see this as too much of a problem. I do want to hold above the 1.4 trillion. And yeah, I would be happy with that. Total 2, so without Bitcoin, let's have a look at the total market cap. So yeah, we broke above this. So we had been ranging here for a while. We talked about this and we needed to see it break out. So this shows here the fact that we've broken out to the upside. Money's in alts right now, and probably eyes are on Ethereum. So all looking good there. Let's take a look now at... what do I want to look at? Actually, before I go to Ethereum, let's just look at the complete market for an idea. So I'm just going to quickly scroll through this list, and, everything's looking quite red or close to red. These aren't huge percentage drops, so not too worried. This tells me all of these are basically pullbacks. Is there anything that's grabbing my attention that I want to take a look at that kind of looks like it's standing out from the norm? Rune there at 7%. Let's take a look at that one. Rune, we needed this anyway, so this is looking good. Rune's bouncing back. It had some troubles. It was one of those iffy ones, not sure if we wanted to get back in. I think they had some security issues, so I'm not aware of the fundal news on it, but technical analysis wise, looks like it's had a nice bounce. It's currently at a key level of resistance, or it's not a key, but yeah, it's at a level of resistance here. We did have an original entry down here, so if you were in that, we're already, let's measure what we're in now. We'd already been 50% profit, so yay, go us. May want to take some profits off the table at that kind of a level, but yeah, would expect a little bit of a pullback after that sort of a move, and hopefully higher low and then continuation. So that one's looking good. There's not really anything else that's standing out in that list. So let us move on to the Ethereum. So let's look at Ethereum BTC first. I haven't actually looked at this at all in a few days. So let's see how that is looking. And so we've got just another touch to that trend line. So we haven't quite broken out yet, but looks like it wants to. We've touched it, had that sell off, and looks like we're holding there now. So yeah, I would expect that to break out to the upside hopefully soon. But yeah, it needs to break out and retest outside of that zone to move up to be a bullish continuation. But that one's looking good. And Ethereum, let's have a look at Ethereum. So originally our buy zone was down here. This was the ideal area to pick up a position. So we're still in that position from now. This has created a higher high compared to this, but we didn't quite get to resistance, which I kind of was expecting. Actually, let me go back to this chart, because I marked out on this chart, I marked out the fork days. yeah, so we didn't quite get up to that resistance, which I thought we may, but you know, we seem to already be selling off considering the hard fork is tonight. So if you have a look at this website here, this shows you the blocks remaining till the actual hard fork. And yeah, we're looking at probably about, what are we, about four and a half-ish hours away. So, you know, we talked about it last time. We talked about the London Hard Fork is buy the rumor, sell the news. This retracement here in Ethereum right now could be just profit taking. So people who did get in down here are taking profits. Again, that's normal. I'll get rid of this so we can see the actual full chart. This is the level here that I'm hoping we respect. If we continue to pull back, that will be a retest of the previous resistance. So let's see how we go there. What fib level will that give me? If we pull back to there, it's a 38, so that will still be considered very bullish. So yeah, we need to wait and see when we get there. Look at this MACD, looks like, yeah, we're kind of cooling off there. But as long as these two MACD lines stay above the 0 line, it's just a pullback for a bullish continuation. It's not actually bearish. We were up in overbought, so yeah, it's good. It's good that we're having this little bit of a sell-off. It's all healthy. Let's look at the 4 hour. The 4 hours. So I think I was in one of the private community Zooms this week. I was talking about how we were having this push on. Most of the alts looked exactly the same. We're having the push, but then the push started to curve, and I didn't like that. And if you guys, I mean, everybody, I suppose, has heard of the saying, "Trend is your friend." The end of that saying is until it bends. So we had this trend, and then the trend started to bend, and so I was like, oh, we should be a little bit cautious now. And yeah, it ended up leading to this pullback anyway. So yeah, all healthy and looking good. Let's put in a retracement target if you are looking for an entry and we get a pullback and prove to be still bullish. I'm probably gonna put it in at about, ideally I want it to be a retest of this resistance. That would be extremely bullish. So that's going to be my potential entry 1, but I also want to put in a lower entry just in case we get, you know, a nice juicy wick or something. And I'm going to mark out this area right here as a buy zone. So I'm going to put that one in, and then I'll also clone this and put that previous resistance level as a buy zone. So these are 2 areas to watch. That puts us at about, say, 2300 and 2190-ish. Those are the 2 levels to watch. What is the purpose of your vertical? These ones are, that was the hard fork dates. I put them in there to show what move we had after the last Berlin hard fork. So we had this push up before the fork, then we had the taking profit sell off, then we had the real push up here. And today we have the push up before the fork. We've got the sell off currently. Don't know where it's going to settle, but my target, if we get a repeat of this, is up here at around the 5,400. Now I don't know how long that will take, but you know, if history repeats, that was about 130% move. That will make this also 130% move, which puts the price target about 5,400. So just keeping an eye on that. That line was there from a previous stream. Okay, so now that we've done that, let me have a look how many we've got watching. So we've got a fair few watching. Let me look at this poll. Now we've got 54% now are bullish, which is good because we were flipped the other way before. So again, if you are watching from YouTube, don't forget to vote on that poll. Let me know if you are bullish or bearish on Bitcoin. I fully agree with this. Bull party is the go. Now, so I wanted to take a look at the ETH competitors. Let's take a quick look at ADA and see how we're going. Everything is looking good on ADA. So the original buy zone was down here. We should well and truly be in. We've got the breakout and the retest of the second chance entry if you didn't happen to pick that one up. And we're currently holding above it. Again, if the whole market sells off Ethereum and Bitcoin and whatnot, this is going to come back as well. So I'm not too worried. Again, we have not changed market structure on this, so they are two risky entries, we know that, but if we come down and create a higher low, it's not going to be a problem. We just need to keep an eye on that. BNB has also, we are out of our buy zone now. What we've done here with BNB is we've hit this level of resistance, which is a very key one. So we've got one here, we've got two here, and three here. So what we really need now is for a higher low to be created. Let me just mark that in. A higher low to be created somewhere in here, and then that bullish momentum to come in to finally push us above that level. That's what we really need on BNB right now. Then we can retest that level and hope from that point on we would be fairly bullish. If you don't have an entry on BNB, that's where it would be on the retest of that resistance at about 338.40. What I don't really love right now is these EMAs are very much sideways choppy. So that just shows that we're ranging. We're not bullish. We're not bearish. If you're a range trader, this range is probably great, actually. Let's have a look at the percentage between this range. So you've got a 31% range. So if you're a range trader, that's great. I'm not. I'm a trend trader, so I'm waiting for a trend on this one. Actually, let me just have one more quick look at the ADA EMAs. ADA EMAs are looking a little bit better. At least they're curving upwards, but BNB is very much sideways right now. So it's still got work to do. And yeah, we need to get over that 338 level. Again, if Bitcoin rejects at that, what was it, 35,900, if Bitcoin rejects there and heads down, it's going to bring the whole market down. So yeah, no need to rush into entries right now, but yeah, let's see if we can get that break above. The only other one that I really wanted to look at is, what was it now? DOT, of course. So DOT was really late to the party, which we loved because it gave us a lot of time to get an entry. It hung around down here for quite some time whilst the rest of the alts started moving. So yeah, there really was no excuse to not pick up an entry on DOT. Retested this old resistance, and here we are now. Now, DOT still has work to do as well. We need to cross this trend line here in order to be bullish on DOT. We also need to break above this level of resistance to feel really bullish. We've got one good sign, which is the 10 and 20 EMA cross. So that's a good starting potential. And we've also got, on the daily, we've got the MACD line starting to cross above the 0 line. So that's potentially really good as well. The lines are, sorry, not the lines, the histogram is lightening and heading down. So that's okay because we've had this massive push. We would like a little bit of a retracement for it to be healthy, create a higher low, and then push out of that zone. So that's okay if this comes down and then that happens. Also, we've got the RSI has crossed above the 50 line. Let me just put that in. I'm not sure why it disappears from my chart sometimes. I'll just quickly add it back. So yeah, so we were hanging out under this 50 line on the daily for quite some time. We've now crossed above. So just like a normal trend line, the cross above is fine. Now we want the retest to show us the change and feel like we're at this level where market structure is going to change and we can be bullish. So this here, this push here, let's measure this one out. And we're currently pulling back. If we come back to this previous support here, I think that's going to be fine. So I'm going to put in what am I going to put? Yeah, I'm going to put in a buy zone around here. We may not get that low, but who knows? We'll see. So I'm going to watch, where is it? I'm going to watch this area. So if you weren't already in a position off the original buy zone, you're waiting for a retracement now. I want to see what happens. If it creates a higher low, now, because this is a spot buy, we want to get it as cheap as possible. It's not how I would leverage trade this, because for leverage trading, I need to have confirmations that we are in a trending market. But for long-term market cycle hodl coins, I just want them just cheap as possible. So I'm happy to get in here, and then would expect that we will eventually break out of this trend line, and then the next hurdle will be this resistance. And yeah, if we can get through there, then, you know, there'll be a lot of upside in DOT. So I do think that this is the month for Ethereum, DOT, and ADA. And I think that because I believe that, you know, Ethereum, we know why already, but we also, DOT and ADA are launching a lot of other things. Like, I think ADA has the smart contracts, and I think DOT has the other thing. I don't know what it is, but I'll look into it and tell you another day. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head, but they're, launch pools, I think it's called. Launch pools and launch pads. So I think it's eyes on them for this month, really. I think probably that's where some, you know, really good, easy gains will be made. And that's about all I really have for you. Let me just go through these things and see if there's any questions from you guys that you wanted me to answer. The other thing I wanted to really kind of talk about today, because I didn't really have a lot of charting to talk about today, but I was thinking we'll just look how dark it is outside right now. I was thinking we could just do a bit of a Q&A. So if anybody wants to throw a question at me about, you know, trading in general, or what life is like as a trader, or anything like that, throw a question in the comments and we'll see what happens. Let's take one more look at this poll. So we have 57% bullish still, so we're almost at 50-50. And what else do we have? Here's a good question. How much time on average do you spend on the charts per day? This is a really good question. So I am a full-time trader, but full-time doesn't mean full-time hours. It means this is how I make my money. So I trade higher time frames, which means that I get to trade less often. So it's about me just picking a really good price for whatever I want to invest in, and then holding that price for as long as possible, or for as long as it's in a trending market. So sometimes I can hold coins for 3, 4, 5, 6 months at times if I get it at a really, really good price. And all I need to do is monitor that. And if I see a change in market structure on a higher time frame, then that's when I exit that. So it's a very passive way to trade. A lot more of my trading is, or my time with trading is taken up on educating other people on how to trade. So that definitely takes a lot more time, but that's my joy. I absolutely love doing that and seeing people, hit massive trading goals and being able to turn this into a career where most people say you can't. So I'm happy to give my time to that. But for me personally, as a trader and for my own trades, I'll scan the market daily, once a day in the morning. And often, like, I have my favorite coins that I know really well, and so that might be all I look at. And then if there's something that's trending that I know that, there's a lot of hype around or something like that, then I'll look into those coins as well as something extra that I can, potentially make some profits on. But that's about it as far as trading. And when I do my charts in the morning, that might take me about half an hour. Then it's a matter of setting alerts for when price gets to the right entry. or an alert on a take profit area. And I don't really look at the charts again until one of those alerts go off. So I'm definitely not, one big lesson I learned was don't constantly watch charts, because you FOMO in and out of trades that like could potentially have been really good trades, but you take profit just way too early if you're watching charts. So it had to become a rule of mine very early that once I had made my trade decision and opened to that trade, I don't come back to that chart until either a stop loss alert goes off or a take profit alert goes off. So, and honestly, that really improved my trading a lot. So I highly recommend people add that to their trade plan as well. Don't be a chart watcher. It just 100% doesn't help. And other than that, I do a quick I do a quick look over my open trades at the 2 p.m. candle close and the 6 p.m. candle close, and that's it. I don't do the 10 p.m. candle close because I find that if my trade is any of my trades are at kind of an iffy area where it might go the wrong way, it disturbs my sleep to know it. So that's another thing I had to teach myself, was like, you don't want to go to bed wondering if your trades are going to be okay, because you just have sleepless nights, and it's really important to keep a strong mind. So yeah, I only check the 2 p.m. and the 6 p.m. candle closes, and that's it. Other than that, what other questions do we have here? I love this Q&A, by the way. How do you convert crypto into AUD? So that is a really, there's a number of ways, but the cheapest way is to do it through Binance. We're pretty lucky in Australia that you can do a direct transfer of crypto out to AUD through Binance. In other countries, you can't do that. You have to do peer-to-peer selling or something like that. So yeah, you just go in Binance, you sell whatever it is. If they've got direct trading pairs, or if whatever you have, like just say you have Carver, and you can't go Carver to AUD, then you would just sell Carver to USDT, then sell USDT to AUD, then do a withdrawal to your bank account. So that's super easy. On other exchanges where you can't do that direct transfer out, I'll use CoinSpot is one that I'll use sometimes. So just send it there, and again, straight out to your bank account. It's fairly instant. And the other option is sometimes, like if I want to pay my bills directly, I'll use Living Room of Satoshi as well. So Living Room of Satoshi isn't the most cheapest way to do it, but it's direct. So there's less, transfer fees going crypto to Australian to bank account to pay my bill. I just pay it direct, and you can earn points on there and stuff too. So yeah, that's kind of makes it a little bit more worth it. What else have we got here? Have you had losing streaks, and how did you overcome these? How many different strategies do you run? So everybody has losing streaks, and if anyone tells you that they don't, they're just lying. Couple of things. So when I started trading, I focused so much on my mindset first. Like I was told how important that was, and I took it really seriously. Like I was told that mindset is more important than the trading skills, so therefore it took top priority. I kept a trade journal, so when trades didn't go my way, like I was able to identify why, and if it was something consistent, like a consistent mood or a consistent day of the week, or whatever, then it had to get crossed off the list. So just don't trade on that day. Eventually, what that data led to was I realized that I was a profit chaser if I lost more than 2 trades in a row, because I would then start trying to make that profit back, and it would lead to further losses. So it became a rule that if I lose 2 trades in a row, I have to take a day off the computer and off trading completely, and not only just take it off, but go and do something I enjoy. So something to spoil myself, massage, lunch with friends, just something that is completely not trading related, and then come back with a refreshed mind. I think a lot of people will, if they have losses, or especially if you're trying to learn, like you get so obsessed with learning that you just want to be on the computer for so many hours a day, and then eventually that's the worst thing for you. So you got to get that time away from the computer if you really want a long-term career in this. I watch candles. It's bad. Yeah, watching candles to learn, to learn the story of candles and understand what each candle means. That's great. But watching candles once you've made a trade decision, I really highly don't recommend you do that. Chart watching was my worst enemy. Yep. What is this question? How do you find a mentor, trading, coach relationship? I believe you have a mentor, right? Yeah. So I have a couple of mentors. One's like overseas, so it's just a mentor over the internet. It's not someone that I can reach out to every now and then, and it's, or whenever I want. It's more like making use of their trading material, and that's it. Don't really have a personal relationship with that person. So it's just watching their content and learning to understand it. And then my other mentor is my boss. So he's like always there, and he does market scans once a week. So I jump on there and I learn from that as well. I think mentorship, no matter what it is in any area of your life, is needed. So if you think about it, there was a time when a personal trainer in a gym was considered a mentor. It wasn't a normal thing. If you wanted to get healthy, you would just go to the gym and figure out how to use the equipment. And then one day somebody invented personal trainers, and now most people will not go to the gym without a personal trainer. It's just become a way of life. If you want to excel in that area, you get a personal trainer because they have the experience. They can get you to where you want to be faster. So therefore, if that's considered normal in your health, why would it not be normal in your career goals or your wealth goals or your mindset goals? Like, it's so normal. I have probably 8 mentors, and they're all across different areas of my life. And yeah, I do take mentorship so seriously because it helps to keep you in the right frame of mind. And for trading, if you want to be a professional, this looks like Albert Einstein has put electricity into my head. But anyway, if you want to excel at anything in life, you have to take mentorship seriously, because it's the shortcut. You learn from their mistakes instead of having to make them yourself and going through that learning phase. So definitely a fan of a shortcut. What percentage of people actually become profitable? This is a good question, Luke, because I was actually talking to someone today about that, and how I believe it's a high percentage. Like, I think they say it's in the 90s. And I was saying the reason that I love teaching is because I love to challenge that statistic. I want to prove that statistic wrong. So when I hear that my students have gone from 0 to hero as a result of like working with me, nothing makes me happier than seeing that, because I'm like, yep, we brought that percentage down. So it's a very, very high percentage, I believe. Are you bullish or bearish? I just went through all the charts, but I am optimistic that we are bullish, but again, I'm keeping emotion out of it. And until we get that higher low, we don't have a change in market structure. So I don't want to have an emotional decision. I just want to deal with the facts on the chart, and the facts on the chart tell me that we are headed in the right direction to be bullish, but we're not confirmed yet. So maybe in a couple of days we will be. Well, what else is there? I think it's actually very low. Even people who make a lot tend to blow it eventually. Yeah, well, I mean, that's poor risk management, right? So greed is an emotion that you have to deal with. It is as serious as fear, right? There's both ends of the scale. There's the euphoria when you're on a winning streak that can be just as damaging as being on a losing streak. So yeah, that's crazy. Favorite indicator. well, I guess EMAs are an indicator, so I'd have to say that. But I'm a pretty big fan of actually no indicator. Like, yeah, I don't even really need EMAs. I just like them. But naked charting, I think, is the best. Everything else just helps confirm your decision, but you can make a decision without any indicators at all, really. What else is there? I think that's all for today. I won't keep you on here too long. Thanks for joining me. I loved this Q&A session. Thank you for submitting your questions. Last check of the poll, we are 59% bullish. So yeah, let's see how right we all are in a couple of days. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so good luck, everyone. Just be careful. Don't FOMO into things. Make sure once price gets into your price targets that you see the turnaround before you jump in. I will see you guys on the next stream. Thank you for joining. And one more time, if you have not already subscribed or liked this video, please help me do that. I am trying to get to 5,000 subs and thinking of launching a competition actually to help get me there faster. So I'll keep you posted on that one. But in the meantime, don't forget, hit that bell button, change it to all so you can be notified when I go live. I'm streaming 3 times a week. And yeah, just saw that question there. So 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays when I live stream. But every day I do a 60-second Bitcoin update on here as well. So definitely subscribe so you can get that. And I will see you guys on the next one.